So effort is the secret. And all the things, I'm asking you to do something really strange in training, which is to take all those things you knew before and were so important, which is getting more information, having more understanding, knowing more, all of that, and put it on the second burner. It's important, it has value, but put it on the second burner. If you want to change your life, if you want to reach your potential, if you want to evolve, if you want to develop, put all your force, behind energy, behind commitment. If you find that you can't marshal enough energy or enough effort, look at that too. Like, are you treating your body well enough? Is your body providing enough effort or will? Then, if not, then work on your body or your habits or whatever it might be that's draining you. If you're too drained, this will make sense to you only intellectually. But I would have you all look at that. Please look back at a time in your life when you had to do something and how it really got done. I don't think you will but rarely find that the day that you got that extra piece of information was the day it happened. Even, I'm looking at Jeff, when I was in high school, the craze became, because Jeff was playing folk music and bluegrass, and every day at lunch, everybody would bring in their guitars and play. And there was one particular player, there was a whole lot of players that everybody admired, but one player that a lot of the people admired was Dave Van Ronk, who played a particular guitar picking style, which is done with your fingers, finger picks. And it requires pretty good coordination because you're running, if you imagine the 6 strings of a guitar, you're running a bass part with your thumb as you're running other parts with your other fingers. That requires, it's kind of like this. And in fact, this was good practice for doing it. So one day it became clear to us, oh, that's what he's doing. He's playing 6, 4, 5, 4. Boom, 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 boom. And we all got it. Now, of all of us, which was probably 6 or 7 of us sitting around who got that, how many learned to do it? How many learned to do it well? What did it take from knowing that that's what Dave Van Ronk was doing, which was a great mystery to us, to getting to where you could do what Dave Van Ronk was doing? It took practice, okay, we call it effort. Not practice one day, but the effort to do it day after day after day after day, and to focus while you're doing it, not just do it mechanically, but to really do that. So, I think that's what I wanted to say today. Please take that to heart. It's the secret. It's the big secret. You're not stupid. You're not lazy. You don't need too much more information. There's nothing wrong with you, any of you. You don't have a personality problem. You're not talented enough. Whatever it is you're trying to do, develop spiritually, develop emotionally, develop, you're just not trying hard enough. You can try a whole lot harder. And when you accept that, it's beautiful because you no longer have any questions. It's no longer complicated. When you're not succeeding in what you're trying to do, you can say to yourself, oh, it's because I'm not trying hard enough in some way. In some way. Not committed enough, not making enough of an effort, not spending enough hours with it, not using my spirit, not overcoming my fear, whatever it might take. Effort is also overcoming fear. A lot of times, That's the hardest thing. And maybe this is, I'll say one last thing. Elena and I were talking, and this will be controversial. I'll hear about this from the people who watch this. A psychologist might say that when you try to do certain things, you go into a mechanical pattern because certain hormones arise. Like certain things will, you want to do something, like ask that really pretty girl out on a date, but you're scared to death and your hormones are, you can hardly speak, because your hormones are clicked in, or some kind of competition where you're racing or whatever. And, or you get angry mechanically and you can't, and you're frozen. And a psychologist will tell you that that is the way we operate as human beings, and sometimes that becomes very hard and close to impossible. To which what I said to Elena is, because she asked me how I felt about that, is I am not a humanist. Okay? That's a humanistic psychology. In other words, that is a very nice, kind way to think about and support you in failure. Mm-hmm. And I'm not about that. I'm about supporting you in succeeding. When, not that this is something I want you to do, but you know, in the 60s, when these guys were in Vietnam walking through rice paddies, halfway, a lot of the time mines would go off and blow their legs off. Do you think their hormones were not up? Do you think they weren't feeling anything emotionally? Do you think they weren't scared? Of course they were. And yet, somehow, people are capable of overcoming that and walking through. Imagine doing that. How scary that would be. Again, I'm not recommending it for you, but people can overcome their hormones. They really can. And when you're scared to death to ask that woman or guy out for a date, you can fumble and flubber in their mouth with a and you can say, coffee. They say, what? What? Coffee? Out to coffee. Out. You, me, out to coffee. Go. Oh. Now you can still do it. Don't, if you're going to be humanistic about others. Forgive others their weaknesses. Don't forgive yourself in that way. Because you don't have to. The other way is just overcome. Overcome your fear. Make that your goal. Overcome your... Learn to do that. Make yourself strong. What was Don Juan's thing that he said about that? He said a warrior has two choices in life: to make themselves miserable or to make themselves strong. The third option is to be nice about the fact that other people are miserable, but I don't know if that's good for them. I'm not saying you should be insensitive to people's plight, but imagine even having a child. Right? You've got a child that you love that's 10 or 11 years old, and they say, I'm scared to go into the woods. And you say, okay, their hormones are clicking, they're really terrified. I'm going to just tell them that that's okay. Oh, that's nice, but it also leaves the message to them. Leaves them with a message. On the other hand, if you say to them, hey, you can overcome your fear. Let me help you. What do you need to overcome your fear? You want me to go with you and then you'll go alone? So, it's nicer. It's actually nicer. It's more respectful, even toward others, to understand our potential. So don't think you need to know too much more before you apply things. Make efforts. That's the real secret. That's right. People who do things like that know. And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be raising a child. It's effort, will. Forget the self. Do what needs to be done.